I would like to bring everyone to we would like to travel back to the continent of the Southeast Asia um, to learn about the TzuChi's missions of education in Philippines. And in the Philippines, because of the deprivations of the education system due to financial difficulties, and the TzuChi's volunteers in Philippines embark on the education scholarship program with the aims to allow these underprivileged students to continue on their education in hopes of bringing a better futures. Without a further delay, let us welcome Sisters Peggy, a TzuChi's commissioner in Philippines, to share on her experience on the education scholarship programs. Over to you, Sister Peggy.
Thank you, Venerable Dharma Masters, and our brothers and sisters from all over the world. Good evening. Let me share. Thank you first for the invitation for me to share about our educational assistance program in the Philippines. Okay, let me just quickly share. Okay, the TzuChi Philippines was established in 1994, and a year after, we already started the scholarship program for elementary and high school students. And in the year 2000, the educational attainment numbers in the Philippines was actually very dismal. Out of 100 students, 100 children in elementary school, only 4 will graduate from college. And a decade after, from 1995, recognizing the need for young people to get to university, to be able to be gainfully employed, City started offering tertiary scholarships. It was also only in 2017 when the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act was signed by the Philippine President, mandating all state universities and colleges to provide free tertiary education for all Filipino citizens. So before that, education was really not accessible. So even with universal access to education, there are still so many challenges for a young person to finish schooling in the Philippines. This is why over the years, we have increased and expanded the assistance program, not only in the Philippine capital, Metro Manila, but also in other areas where we have volunteers. Let me just share with you why we designed our assistance program or scholarship program. The jeepney, if any of you have been to the Philippines, you know that the jeepney is one of the most prevalent mode of transportation and also the cheapest. Several of our previous scholars, shared that prior to receiving TzuChi's assistance, when they rode the jeepney going to school, they will either take the one closest to the exit of the jeepney, the one farthest from the driver, so that they can just jump off the vehicle without paying. The others shared that they would sit somewhere in the middle. Why? Because when we take the jeepney here in the Philippines, the passengers will pass their fare, the payment to the driver, by passing it to the other passengers in front of them. So our previous scholars shared that when they did not have any money, they will hand over the payment of the other passengers to the driver and pretend it is their payment. And another let me just share about this Philippine snack or chips. It's called fish da. It sounds like isda, which means fish in the Philippines. And naturally, this snack or chips is fish flavored. This is a very cheap snack, costing less than US dollars 50 cents. And one of our previous scholars shared that she used to bring less than USD 50 cents a day to school because this is the only amount of money that her parents could afford. And she will bring a lot of rice from home to school and will use her 20 pesos to buy this snack to serve as viand and eat with her rice. So hearing these challenges from the scholars over the years, TzuChi started covering the following allowances, even if the students do not have to pay for their basic tuition fee. So we started covering monthly stipends. This is for their food, the scholars' food, book allowances, internet allowances, uniform, projects, and students are sometimes required to go on field trips, and also for their training, they're asked to pay for training also. So also a while ago we shared about transportation allowances, and this is to allow the students to be able to go to school without worry of how to get there, and for them not to go to school hungry. So hopefully with a full stomach, they can actually learn and absorb their lessons. And in the City Philippines, when we accept scholars, we accept for certain types of courses and programs, and we do not accept any, and we do not accept all courses. We focus on the following courses because there is a higher demand for graduates of these programs, and for the three courses highlighted, because we understand that the graduates of these courses can help society. The Philippines lack teachers, and social workers, and also for food security, we need more trained in agriculture. So for agriculture, we also only accept those who major on crop science. So different from other scholarship programs in the country, TzuChi volunteers spend a lot of time planning the humanities classes for the scholars. We hope that these students do not only gain knowledge, but also improve on becoming upright persons, and they will give back to society in the future, and hopefully come back to volunteer in TzuChi to continue the cycle of love. So some of the sessions that we have designed are aimed to plant seeds of goodness in each of our scholars, to inspire them to see the goodness in others and mold them into becoming responsible persons in society. So the basic philosophy of respect for life, Master Chunyan has been promoting vegetarianism, and we also encourage our students, our scholars, to lessen their meat intake, and hopefully the seed of becoming vegetarian can grow in the future. So while mostly Filipinos, meaning their race is from Filipinos, these students can also learn while in TzuChi. They also learn some Chinese etiquette, such as using both hands when receiving something and bowing in gratitude. Master Zheng Yan also shared with us that there are two things in life that cannot wait. One is doing good, and another is to be filial to our parents. These we continuously and repeatedly share with our scholars. The scholars are also encouraged to do volunteer work and they help in relief distributions. They help elders when these elder beneficiaries receive kilos of heavy groceries, heavy bags of groceries and rice. And our scholars who are very good when computer, they also help us in some of our computer works in TzuChi. And sometimes during disasters, when we need a lot of people to help encode name lists of beneficiaries of disasters, then these scholars also help us. At the same time, our TzuChi volunteers act as mentors. These TzuChi volunteers who really diligently accompany these scholars learn a lot from the young people and from the program. I myself helped in the program for several years when I was in my late 20s, and understanding that I am really very blessed to go to a private school that I wanted to go to. Hence, from then on, I also started donating for in this program, and hopefully, and Master said that the seeds of blessings must be sowed, and whenever their fruits are harvested, to ensure that the virtuous cycle continues indefinitely. So I always give help and donate in this program, hopefully hoping that the seeds of blessings will also benefit other scholars. So this program is not just for the young students to learn, but also our volunteers learn so much while accompanying these young people in their journey and in their lives. So TzuChi also has uh, helped provide life skills sessions to these scholars. For graduating students, we also invite companies to teach them, executives from companies to teach them how to prepare for interviews, how to write their their CVs and resumes, and how to dress for a job interview. We also conduct also mock interviews for these scholars so to let them practice. So we also help invite speakers to teach them how to save their money in the future once they start earning. So Master has always reminded us that the hope of society lies in talents and the hope of talents lie in education. And we also believe that to alleviate poverty in families in the Philippines, that college education is one of the keys to do that. So how do we choose our scholars? We have recently adjusted to taking in more incoming second year college students. This is because we found out that there are so many other government and private organizations and foundations who take on first year college students. And some of these individuals or organizations, because of lack of funds, do not continue the support after the first year. There were also almost no organization who take on students on their second year. So on the grade requirement, TzuChi, unlike other organizations, only require a grade of 82%. This is to allow the students who are average or below average a chance to go to school. Most organizations focus on getting the smartest and the brightest students. So in terms of our steps, first we have an initial interview by our City Foundation social worker, and then our volunteers go for a home visit and evaluate the scholar applicant. And then we have a panel interview done by volunteers and social workers. Together, um, the, the scholar applicant will have to attend the panel interview together with a guardian or a parent. This is so that we can ensure that the parents are also accountable to support the scholar's education. And finally, all of these data will be given to an education committee for composed of city commissioners to do their deliberation. So let me just share with you one of our scholar applicants just to let everyone understand how we go through some of the steps. So Ron, who is a consistent honor student from elementary to senior high school, he was accepted as a scholar from last year. He was recommended by his university. His family was homeless and they lived on the street from year 2012. Ron has been working hard. He took on a part-time job as a warehouse uh, man in a private company so that he could earn 6,000 pesos a month. This is close to around 100 US dollars a month. And with this, they were able to rent a small house for his family. So his the family lives in an urban poor community in Metro Manila, and the only appliances they have is an electric fan and a small gas stove. And for online classes during the pandemic, Ron just uses his mobile phone. And because our volunteers visited his home, we also realized that his father is suffering from tuberculosis. So we actually also recommended his father in the medical assistance program of of City. So in our home visits and in our the volunteers understanding of the family, and then we draw this family diagram as part of the case file of Ron. So we also document their income and expenses so that we understand that the deficit in terms of the income for the family. And we also get the grades of Ron and also our scholar applicants. This is just a short video of the home of Ron. We also always ask the permission of the family for us to take photos and videos. So this information is also presented during the committee deliberation. And back in 2020 and 2021, when there were risks of the COVID pandemic, we had also had applicants send their videos of their homes. But in starting in May 2021, our volunteers already started to go out to visit the scholars. So let me just share this. So this is a uh, it's called a virtual home tour because when he applied, it was during the height of COVID. So he sent this video uh, to the city volunteers. So he's asking us, welcoming us to go into his home. But after in mid 2021, we also visited Ron in his home. Another another worth sharing is an applicant named Jansen. This applicant is from Iloilo. This is in central Philippines. He's on his second year taking up technical vocational teacher education, majoring in automotive technology. So when we were planning to go to his home, it was actually very far from the main road. And when we took the van in, tried to go in the rough roads, could actually hear that the rocks and the were hitting the bottom of the van. So we had no choice but to actually just go down and walk all the way through to go to get to his home. So if you actually see the road, the roads to get to his home, on the left side were all sugarcane farms. So when we got to Jansen's home, this is what we actually saw. This is where they live. And during the home visitation, we also talked to the mother of Jansen, and his mother was actually sharing about their life, and she was actually also about smiling when she was talking about even how difficult their lives were. But she also shared that Jansen's father passed away in 2008, and his mother earns around 2,000 to 4,000 pesos monthly as an on-call house help. So I was trying to understand how can she support Jansen's education with just 4,000 pesos. 4,000 pesos is around maybe uh, 70 US dollars a month. So she shared that Jansen works as a gardener, and sometimes also in the sugarcane farms, he removes weeds and grasses. And in a day, he can earn 150 pesos. And when we started asking can Jansen how can Jansen go to school when we actually also had to travel 1 hour to get to his home? Then Jansen said he has to spend around 200 pesos a day to be able to get to school and to also have some money to bring to buy his food. And and then he said that what he does is he works as a gardener and someone who removes the weeds from the sugarcane farm, and from the earnings of 150 pesos, he will actually go to school when he has that 150, and he will skip school and work again, and then once he gets his 150, then he goes back to attend class. So even with this challenge, Johnson actually is has a very high grades. So even if he goes to school and then misses school, goes back to school and misses school. So this is the current situation of several of our scholar applicants. This is why TzuChi Philippines has continued to expand our scholarship program to several other areas. And just to share with everyone, one of our success stories over the years, Jeneline is an accountancy graduate from a state university in the Philippines. While she was a regular student, we during our humanities classes, we teach Jeneline and other scholars life skills, and we also encourage them to dream bigger. So Jeneline was one of those who actually excelled, and Jeneline's family, her father used to be a tricycle driver. A tricycle driver is like a mode of public transportation in the Philippines where they earn very, very small, but still, Jeneline was able to graduate and able to go to Singapore to work in prominent companies such as Procter and Gamble and Unilever. And now, during the pandemic, she returned back to the Philippines to work here. From then on, Janine has been helping in our humanities classes for scholars. She has been a volunteer. And at the recently concluded, we had a scholars camp, 3 days, 2 nights scholars camp in TzuChi. So Janeline, like other alumni scholars, they actually handled the other younger scholars, the current scholars, and they acted as mentors and brothers and sisters. She shared that what she learned as a scholar, she learned to how to be filial and to bridge the gap that she had with her mother for a long time. She was also able to advise one of the scholars during the night of sharing, a scholar who had problems with her parents. Jenny was able to guide the scholar to learn, and she said that what she learned from TzuChi, she's now also sharing to these younger scholars. And another success story that we have is Cherry. Cherry is a one of our previous scholars. She earned her degree in philosophy and is currently now studying clinical psychology for her master's. She is now a TzuChi staff with the admin as a senior officer, and she also used to volunteer as a TzuChi or a TzuChi youth. And then she became a full time staff, and she was also just recently certified as a TzuChi commissioner. So we see Cherry receiving years of scholarship help from TzuChi, and she's now also directly giving back to the foundation. And because of these stories, and we see that these scholars return and give back to the efforts of the foundation. So we've been expanding our efforts to reach more deserving Filipino students in the different provinces. So right now we are also in other areas in the Philippines and also focusing on a lot scholars for studying agriculture education and also technical and vocational education. And hopefully with the further years, we hope that we can build a stronger volunteer base for this program and also have hope to strengthen our humanities classes and to establish our alumni association of uh, of scholar volunteers, previous scholar volunteers. And hopefully we can also create a study hub for scholars and where the alumni and the volunteers can help them and could continuously monitor our graduates. And before I end, let me just share this video. Let me share this video of our previously just uh, this a few weeks ago. We just completed our three days, 2 nights camp for our graduating and fourth year college scholars.
Nung hindi pa po ako scholar ng TzuChi Foundation, umaasa po kami sa pension po ng tatay ko po. Since retired na po siya sa kanyang trabaho kasi po senior citizen na po siya. At yung nanay ko naman po, wala po siyang trabaho kaya po doon lang po kami kumukuha po ng pangsustento po sa araw-araw. Simula po nung nakapasok po ako sa TzuChi Foundation, mas nakalawag po kami sa gastusin po sa araw-araw. Medyo nabawasan po yung iisipin ko pong mga gastusin po sa school, kaya po sa internet, yung pagbabayad po sa pamasahe po nung hindi pa po pandemic at yung mga pambaon po sa araw-araw.
After po ng Ondoy, natulungan na po kami ng TzuChi Foundation. Nung wala pa po yung TzuChi Foundation sa amin, pinipilit po ni Papa na maitaguyod kami. Yung income po talaga ni Papa is para lang sa pagkain namin sa araw-araw, para mapunan po yung pambaon sa school.
Yung father ko is hindi man po ganun kataas yung salary. So, yung help po na binibigay ng TzuChi Foundation ay nakatulong talaga.
Hindi lang po ako yung nagpapasalamat kahit yung papa ko. Tuwag-tuwa nga po papa ko yung natanggap po ako sa TzuChi Scholarship eh. Kaya napakalaking tulong po ng financial support ng TzuChi. Lalo na ang mamahal po ng libro. As in po, super mahal po.
Malaki po yung nagbago talaga po. Parang nung una po, nahirap po akong humanap ng baon, pambayad ng project. Yung dati po na kung saan pa po ako hahanap ng pamasahe, ng pambaon, napoprovide na po ng TzuChi yun. Nung naging TzuChi scholar po ako, sobrang dami pong changes. Hindi lang po financially eh. Yung tinuturo po sa amin as a scholar, yung virtue po, yung values, nandoon po talaga eh.
Mas na-motivate po ako mag-aral actually. Para po ako nagkaroon ng sense of responsibility na kailangan maging, bukod sa parents ko, may iba nang magiging proud sa akin. Hindi lang sila mama, pati yung mga nagpapaaral sa akin.
Gusto ko lang pong sabihin po sa TzuChi Foundation na sobrang maraming salamat po sa binigay niyo pong opportunity para po sa akin po at sa po akong scholars.
To TzuChi Foundation, aunties and uncles, I wanted to thank them for not just giving us the financial assistance, but also for teaching us good life lessons na magagamit natin in our daily life.
Thank you po kay Master Cheng. Kung hindi dahil sa kanya, hindi ko po alam kung masusustain ko yung pag-aaral ko until college.
Sobrang grateful po ako sa TzuChi Foundation, lalong-lalo na po kay Master Cheng eh. Kasi dumating po yung TzuChi Foundation sa amin na unexpected po talaga. Tinulungan lang po nila kami during Ondoy, pero ngayon, nandito po ako, kasama ko po sila hanggang sa gumraduate po ako. Kaya po, after ko pong gumraduate, nakatatak na po talaga sa isipan ko na mag-give back po ako sa lahat ng tulong na binigay sa akin ng TzuChi Foundation.
Ang mensahe ko po para po sa mga kapwa ko po scholars na sana po hindi po natin makalimutan yung TzuChi Foundation po na naging parte po ng pag-aaral natin at ng buhay natin.
We should not also forget na yung help na nabigay sa atin ng TzuChi Foundation and to help other students like us, also scholars.
Magtiwala po tayo sa sarili natin na kaya natin kasi walang ibang magtitiwala sa atin sa simula kung hindi tayo lang. At nandyan si Master Cheng at ang TzuChi Foundation para mas mahubog pa po yung kakayahan at yung kagalingan na meron tayo. Keep fighting and soar high.
Ang daming pagsubok na dinaanan namin as graduating scholars. Kami yung unang batch ng K-12. Tinamaan din kami ng pandemya. Bago man yung ganong uri ng pagtuturo, na we made it, na natapos namin eh.
Finally, gagraduate na tayo. And kahit ano man yung pagdadaanan natin, alam ko naman na susurvive natin yun kasi tatak TzuChi tayo eh. TzuChi scholars tayo.
Thank you very much. Hope I was able to share about the scholarship and education assistance program here in TzuChi Philippines. Kanan?
Thank you, Sister Peggy. It was indeed a very touching to just to see what Philippines TzuChi's volunteers have cultivated the love and planted the good seeds to the recipients. And from being a recipient, who now become the served, who come back to TzuChi and to serve others. And thank you again, Sister Peggy.